I'm thinking maybe we should go through one of these. Is that right? Okay, so grab calculator. Got your calculator. Grab one if you need to. Got some up here if you want one. Okay, if you need to refer back to, if you need to refer back to an example of this, I'm recording this today, but then also the video solutions that cover, I think it's section 1.2. I go through an example there as well. All right, so what do we do? Talk me through this. Tell me what I push. Okay, so I got to go stat, edit to get there. Good. And then let's go up and clear the columns. How about? Okay. Once our data's in, if all we want to do is get the best fit line, this is pretty simple. What do we do? Stat calc 4. Stat calc linear regression 4. And then do I need to store the regression equation here? Don't need to, do I? Because all I'm looking for is the equation in this problem. So I just hit calculate. And there it is, right? My equation is going to be in the form v, instead of y equals ax plus b, I'm going to be v equals what? A t, right? A t plus b, and so we'll just plug in those values. So what's a? Rounded to two places. 3.82. Okay, good. And how do I know if I round up again? Well, maybe, but what's the rule? If I'm rounding to two places, I have to look at the third, right? The third decimal, and under what circumstances would I round up? If it's 5 or bigger, yeah. Okay, so 3.82 t plus b. Well, b is negative, so minus 4.44. Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, another one. Rather than put all this in, how about if let's just go back to our last one. And let's just say we're going to do the same thing, only this time we're going to check it at, how about t equals 6? Okay, because we already have the data, so we can save a little time. Same exact problem, but let's say it says, instead of this stuff, let's say it says, find v of 6, how about? Okay, so what do we do with that? Okay, different kind of answer now. So we're going to make a prediction. We want to find the model, which we already did, and then we're going to use the model to make a prediction about what the velocity is most likely to be when t equals 6. It is up there, but that's okay because 6 is a data point. So what we're going to see is that our prediction is actually better than that prediction. And I think much of the time I programmed it so you actually would get a point that was on the table, but you get a different answer. Okay, so what do we do with this then? We got to go back to our calculator, and we'll go stat calc 4. We'd put the data in like always. We'd go stat, edit, and put the data in, but we've already done that. So then we go back to stat calc 4 to get to linear regression, and now we're going to start to learn to take advantage of this really cool tool that we have here. So we go down to store regression equation, and we're going to store this as y1. So we can make a graph of our model, of our linear regression, best fit line model, and use that graph to answer questions. So alpha F4 is the shortcut. If you don't have that and aren't sure how to get to the variables, come see me, during whenever, like after class or during a work day or whatever, and I'll show you. We hit calculate, get the same answer, but now, of course, if we go to y equals, our answer has been input there as y1. Okay, so how are we efficient about this? To me, the easiest way to get this graph on the window where we can use it effectively is to turn on plot 1 so that our data, we can take advantage of the fact that our calculator can zoom to our data. It won't do that unless plot 1 is on, unless it thinks you're doing a scatter plot, which I guess we are. If I turn on plot 1, I can go zoom stat, zoom 9. Otherwise, I would have to manually set the window, which is kind of a pain, right? We'd rather just let the calculator do that for us. Once I've done that, if I want to, I could even go back to y equals and turn off the plot. I don't really need the scatter plot. You don't have to, but I could. I could turn it off and then hit graph again. And now the window stays the same size, but I've only got the line, right? Once I've got my graph, with or without the scatter plot, if I ever want to use the graph that we created to calculate some kind of a quantity, what do I do? What menu do I go to? You remember? Trace. Yeah, I go second trace. So second, and then it's calc, which is behind trace. There's my calculate menu. So I can do all those things for my graph. I want to do value. Okay, value just means evaluate the function. I want to find the y value for an input x. Right? So we're going to input 6 and hit enter, and it puts the cursor on the graph, but more importantly, it gives us the ordered pair, right? We want that y value. That's the answer we're looking for, right? So our answer in this case would be 18.949. Okay? That's not the right answer because that's right. I mean, I just kind of made this question up, but you get the idea? Okay? You can also remember, you can do, if you hit trace, you can just type an x value, okay? So trace is kind of a shortcut. Though, I'll show you one little thing here. You can always just go second calc value. That'll always work. In fact, that's probably not a bad habit to get in, just go into the second calc menu. If the plot is on and you want to take the shortcut and hit trace, the only thing you have to do is remember, right now we're on the plot. See, up here it tells us which function we're tracing on. I have to hit like the down arrow to go down from plot 1 to y1, and then I can type the 6. But it might be easier, once again, to just go second calc value, and then type the x value. Okay? Make sense? Questions? Okay? So you got to be able to do that process. I'm not going to help you. You got to be able to do that process of creating a linear regression model and then using the model to answer a question. Okay?